Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. India Alliance's future is not bright, says P. Chidambaram. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into the show. So, India Alliance future is not very bright. This is what P. Chidambaram says. Actually, he's right. He's right. And the fact that before we judge India Alliance and whether the future is bright or not, let us understand India Alliance. You see, India Alliance was a party formed by a group of parties not because they loved each other. Not because they loved each other. They formed this union because they had to survive against this juggernaut called Bharatiya Janata Party. This special purpose vehicle was built so that they could compete 2024 general elections. So it was not an alliance that was meant to last anyways. It was an alliance of convenience. The general election got over and the alliance started breaking up. They didn't want to ally in Delhi, they didn't want to ally in Haryana, a lot of places the alliance didn't want to work together. In a lot of places there were new alliances. So the point is, when you say that there is no future, who told you that India Alliance was even built to have a future? That is point number one. Point number two, I think a lot of us compare India Alliance to Bharatiya Janata Party. A lot of us talk about India Alliance having no future and then say Bharatiya Janata Party is so strong and so well organized and so well oiled that it has percolated to the last common denominator of this country. It has touched every Indian's life. It is in touch and interacting with almost every voter. Yeah, all that is right. All that is right. But then you are comparing apple and oranges. You are comparing apple and oranges because if you compare Bharatiya Janata Party, compare it to Congress. Compare it to Congress, not to India Alliance. If you compare NDA, then you compare NDA to India Alliance. Now let us compare NDA and India Alliance. You see, India Alliance does not have a star. It doesn't have a star. We have a solar system today is because there is a powerful star with huge gravity that ensures that the planet rotates around them. Imagine the star is weak. Star has no gravity. What happens to the planet? It will all go its own way. Likewise, an alliance is something similar. Every time there was an alliance, there was a star. When there was NDA, there was a star and that was BJP. When there was UPA, there was a star and that was Congress. When there was India Alliance, there was a star and that was supposed to be Congress. But Congress does not have the gravity. Congress doesn't have that weight that Congress had before. Rahul Gandhi is not a consistent leader. He is a good leader, but he is not a consistent leader. His leadership has waves. 2023-24, he shot up. His popularity, his leadership, his presence, his appearance, his activity shot up, then gone, finito. So, the India Alliance and the leader of India Alliance, the Congress Party and Congress Party leadership is like those waves, up and down and up and down. What are you expecting? Who is going to hold India Alliance together? Like the star, like the sun. Whereas NDA always had Bharatiya Janata Party which is growing in its gravity, which is growing and it is becoming more and more powerful. And look at other alliances. What are the other alliances? What is the role of TDP in NDA? What is Chandrababu Naidu's role except for getting fantastic grants for Andhra Pradesh? What else is his role? What was his decision making as far as the war is concerned? What was his decision making? What did we contribute so strategically or intelligently to the NDA alliance? What is Nitish Kumar's role? What is Nitish Kumar's role in the larger picture? What is Chirag Paswan's role? That young man seems to be going in different diametric different directions. So what is his role? So NDA, what is NDA? If you say what is India Alliance, what is NDA? NDA is Bharatiya Janata Party. India Alliance is not Congress. Therefore, India Alliance looks weak and NDA looks strong. Congress, like I told you, is not doesn't have the capability to hold India Alliance together. That is the difference. Now let's talk about BJP and Congress. That's comparison. You see, BJP is what Congress was. Chidambaram says, in my experience and reading of history, there has been no political party as formidably organized as Bharatiya Janata Party in every department. It is formidable. It is not another political party. It's a machine behind which its machine and two machines control all the machinery of India, from election commission to the India's lowest police station in India. What he is saying is correct. But the fact remains that this is what BJP is today. This is what Congress was yesterday. Congress was equally controlling every department. Congress was equally controlling, if he meant it from a perspective of controlling election commission and controlling police station and all that, Congress used to also do that. I agree with him. But it is not that it is one of the most formidable parties. Congress used to be that previously. Also the fact that, like I told you, BJP has percolated to the last common denominator of India. It relates to its voters. Congress used to do that once. Congress used to do that once when they had the Seva Dal. Congress used to do that once when they had huge leaders. Congress used to relate to the lowest common denominator. Vaibit Sawan, I am talking about Maharashtra, used to relate to every Maharashtrian. Vasantdada Patil used to be almost revered in Maharashtra. Sharad Pawar, once upon a time, Sharad Pawar used to be quite well respected. The point is, their leaders were. Same is the case with you go to any state, you will find 10 Congress leaders that we can talk about who related to the people on ground. So what Congress was is what BJP is, and believe me you, someday what Congress is today will be what BJP is tomorrow. And it is going that way. It is going that way. There are internal problems, there are internal shifts, there are rifts, there are internal squabbles. It is not that BJP is without all of this. There is a strong glue in BJP. That is Mr. Narendra Modi, who is holding everything together. That glue goes and BJP goes the Congress way. I mean, this is not rocket science. This is more or less clear. And the fact remains that a lot of people who say that, what happens to India, there is no future for India Alliance. Listen, 2024, 2023-24, who thought there would be India Alliance that comes through and they crack around 234 seats? Who thought? Did anybody think that will happen? Happened, no? So maybe 2029, you will see another India Alliance. You will see another India Alliance. Now, whether that is organized or not, God knows. And lastly, you see, when you talk about an alliance, sometimes an alliance comes together and wins the election, not because the alliance is a fantastic alliance and there is a great leader standing in front of that alliance. At that particular moment, an alliance comes to light because people want the current government, the current dispensation to move out, which means, like Vinod Dua used to say, it's the undercurrent. Like you have the wave that brings in a leader, there is an undercurrent that takes him out. So 2029, if people of India does not want BJP, they will vote whichever alliance that comes together and get them to come to power. They voted Sonia Gandhi to power in 2004, didn't they? Compare Sonia Gandhi to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Sonia Gandhi was a newcomer literally, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee was one of the most seasoned leaders, one of the most revered leaders in India. Didn't India vote for Sonia Gandhi? The big idea then was that at some point, India shining didn't really work. It didn't really percolate to the last common denominator. So they moved out Atal Bihari Vajpayee, brought in Sonia Gandhi, who was almost a newcomer. So all this thing about India alliance and NDA and all that, it is all current. Nothing is a predictable future. Nothing has a predictable future. There is no horoscope that you can write for these political parties and political alliance. Because if you could write the horoscope, please check a lot of politicians and political commentators and experts talking in 2020, talking in 2020-21, where they say there is now Modi nahi to kaun. Happened, no? India alliance happened. Before I conclude, I want to make one more point. This is slightly deviating from the topic of the day. You see, a lot of people say that India has not leaders now. We don't have leaders. We have no political leaders. Where are the political leaders? I mean, India was a country which had so many leaders. Mahatma Gandhi was a global leader, an Indian. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, B.R. Ambedkar, Indira Gandhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, L.K. Advani. I mean, the list can go on. Thousands of names. We can rattle one after another. Huge leaders. So what happened? What happened to Indian political leaders? Where have they disappeared? Why don't we have those kind of leaders now? The answer to that is very simple. All these leaders that I spoke to you about came or were created by political movements, social movements, social and political movements on ground. That's what created these leaders. And if you go to see, the longer and the more consistent that social or political movement was on ground made that leader that much more taller. So, 100 years of freedom struggle, the freedom movement gave us all these tall, super tall leaders. Emergency, fighting against emergency, gave us tall leaders. You see, something like India against corruption, which lasted for a year and a half actually, gave us a Kejriwal. The point that I am trying to make is leadership or leaders directly correlate with the social political movement on ground. We don't have any social and political movement on ground anymore. Most of the movements are on social media and Twitter and WhatsApp and whatever, podcast and all of that. There are no movements that happen on ground. There are no political movement that happen on ground nowadays. And therefore you don't have leaders. The day you see political social movement on ground, you will see more leaders. You will see real leaders. Leaders who can lead this country. And I am sure there are lakhs of them. They need to come out and show themselves. A, India alliance and NDA. You remove Congress and BJP out of the picture, it is the same. Everybody is in their own directions. It is just that BJP is in power and BJP is absolutely organized, so it's holding NDA to whatever extent. Congress is not in power and there is absolutely no reverence for, there is no leadership there. So these parties are going helter-skelter. That is the difference. That's point number one. Point number two, if you compare Congress and BJP, then what BJP is today is what Congress was yesterday. And what BJP is going to be tomorrow is what Congress is today. So this cycle will go on. There is no Alpa Viram or Purna Viram and all that. There is no full stop or comma and all that. This cycle will go on, and that's what politics is all about. So that's the point I wanted to make, my 2 bits on what Mr. Chidambaram said, and till I see you next time, that's on Monday at 10. Namaskar.